Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you all back to this next video I'm going to be doing here on my channel. I wanted to do, like, the way I'm doing it to this is just, it's going to be a quick little video. I just want to do it just to present this, to give my thoughts on this to all of you so I can, give my insight on the bigger picture of the entire thing. But I really wanted to do a little bit more for this, but I never got around to it because I was busy the last couple of days to really focus too much on actually getting something prepared for it on a much grander scale according to what it really is. But as a fan, I wanted to do something anyways just to show my love for it and give it something for you guys to all watch. And if you guys are wondering why it looks a little different on here than like my tablet, I'm actually recording this video on my phone, so it'd be a quick little video just to throw up onto my channel. But like I said, this video is, and you could pretty much tell by the actual title of the video, but I wanted to say it anyways, is dealing with Fire Emblem and the Fire Emblem franchise yesterday, and I really wanted to do it on the actual day, but I never got around to it. The whole Pokemon video came up and stuff and whatever, but the Fire Emblem franchise, okay, now it's technically April the 21st. I wanted to do the video yesterday, but April the 20th, back in 1990, was when the first game in the series actually debuted in Japan on the Famicom. So basically, I wanted to give a video from myself to actually honor and talk about the Fire Emblem franchise. 26 years. Can you honestly believe that this franchise that most people outside of Japan didn't know about until Smash Brothers is now turning 26, 14 games in the franchise, and it's become a huge phenomenon for Nintendo now. 26 years. Most of which of the games we never freaking got. And I'm hoping Nintendo, you start localizing or remaking some of them eventually, so we can actually, translate them or something, so we can actually play some of these games, like Heroes of Light and Shadow. But seriously though, like I said, I wanted to do something on a much grander scale for this video. Like, I've been playing a lot more of, Fire Emblem 7 lately, and I wanted to do a review of it. I wanted to review this game. Review the game that's basically about Daddy Fire Marth, Ike with an axe, and basically green-haired samurai female Marth. Lyn from Smash. I wanted to actually review that game in honor of it's the first game that came out, localized outside of Japan on the day it actually, the series in general came out back in 1990 in Japan, the original game with Marth on the Famicom. I wanted to do that, and I've been playing that game a lot lately. Never got around to beating it. Sorry, I've been trying to jump back to Fire Emblem games. Like, for a while there, I was kind of, busy doing other stuff, playing other games, but I want to jump back in there. I've been playing that game lately, but I have not finished it, and I did not want to review it if I did not finish the actual game, because that would make no sense. But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to review Fire Emblem 7 yesterday, a couple hours ago, the 20th, but I wasn't ready to do a review, and that review is going to come eventually. That's probably going to be the first of my video game reviews when it comes to returning to video game reviews. Like, I did reviews years ago, and they were pretty much, besides Skyward Sword, a bunch of crap, but I tried what I could do at the time, and I think I've gotten better talking basically since 2009 and 2010. So I think I can do a review a little bit better. But I wanted to do that, and that's going to come out eventually, probably in May sometime. But here, my thoughts are, I wanted to do this quickly for just to kind of honor the 26 years of Fire Emblem. I'm going to basically just, and I will probably do more later on, not just reviews, but probably discussion talks, top 10 lists, and stuff like that. But what I want to do is basically just give my, my history and thoughts and memories of this franchise, of Fire Emblem. Basically, for a lot of people outside of Japan, obviously, our first insight on the Fire Emblem franchise was Smash Bros. Melee, when Roy and Marth were included in the game. And back then, I didn't know who these guys were, but I loved them so much because they were so cool. Sword users. Swords in general are freaking awesome. That's a really cool weapon type. I always wanted to see more Fire Emblem. Like, I wanted to see more about what the Fire Emblem franchise was like, and wanted to see more sword characters in general in Smash Brothers. So they really piqued my interest on characters to play as. And Roy was basically my favorite character, my most used character in Melee. That's basically what Roy was. I liked using him more than Marth, and he was probably more... I really liked using him, and then I was kind of sad when they took him out of the Brawl, but whatever. And he's back now in 4, and I wasn't really entirely for him coming back, but I'm a fan of his, so it's still awesome to see that. But basically, that was my first insight. And then a year later, actually 2 years later, we got, Fire Emblem 7 on the Game Boy Advance, and I recall... And here's the thing, like, my start to actually playing the franchise was kind of slow a bit. Because I recall actually buying the game, but I was younger at the time. And obviously the series was a little harder, too, at the time as well. So I couldn't really get into it. That's the thing. I've gotten into strategy RPGs a lot lately. I really do love the genre and love, like, the strategy and the battle aspects of it all. But back then, I obviously was, I guess, too young to really understand it all that much. And I ended up trading it in. And then I think I remember ended up going back later on down the line, I believe, because I recall when I got the Wii, and then they brought out Radiant Dawn, I think maybe I'm going to try out, I've been playing, Smash Brothers, and I've learned more about this. I want to probably really give it a legitimate another try to get into the Fire Emblem series. And I recall back in the day going into, I rented Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. And now that's when I really started liking it. And I really, really liked playing that. I rented that back around 2007, sometime around the time I got the Wii, like the end of 2007. I remember renting that and then eventually bought it. But like I said, after that, that's when I decided to go check out the games more in the series. Okay, I'm going to go back and try to get 7 again. I got Sacred Stones again. Although, actually, no, I got Sacred Stones and I bought 7 again. And then I ended up renting Path of Radiance because, the family video by us was still had some GameCube games on rental, and that is right there. I think the turning point. Like Radiant Dawn was the first turning point, and the game's hard as hell, and I still haven't beaten it to this day because like I said, I've been busy. Like I said, that's partially the reason why I haven't finished 7 yet. I play other games, I do other things, and it's just a very hectic thing. I was busy with school a whole lot throughout that time too, but Radiant Dawn was the first step. Path of Radiance was definitely the second major one, because here's the thing. And this was back in 2008, I was so addicted to that game, to Path of Radiance on the GameCube. I rented it, played it a bunch, and I re-rented it again, just so I could beat the darn game. And then I eventually bought it, down the line. I found it at GameStop when they still had GameCube games too, years ago. So I basically beaten that game, and it was hard, and I did lose one. I forgot the guy's name with that Wyvern rider that has the eye patch with the axe. Yeah, he's the only guy. He died on the last mission. He freaking died when I was facing Ashnard. And it's looking at the memories of this, and I decided okay, I haven't beaten too many Fire Emblem games. Really, I haven't really gotten far enough into them. Awakening, I still haven't beaten Awakening. But I'm near the end. But that's also because when I bought the game, I bought it when it first came out. I pre-ordered it and I played it back then, and then it just kind of sat there for a while because I was playing other 3DS games, and I went back to it months at the end of last year before Fates came out this year, and I still have to beat that. And like I said, I'm going back and I'm trying to beat all these games because I have all the games that came out so far, besides obviously Revelations from Fate, because I haven't downloaded that yet for Fire Emblem. But I haven't beaten pretty much any of them besides Path of Radiance. I've gotten decently lengths into them, but then something always caught me off guard, or I went and I was distracted by something else, or I was busy or whatever. So here's the thing. That's the reason why I've been going back to all the Fire Emblem games and beating all the ones I got. I need to still beat Shadow Dragon, I need to play 7, and Radiant Dawn, and Spirit, and Sacred Stones, and Fates, which I'm almost done with Fates Birthright as well. Start Conquest eventually. I'm going in order. I didn't start Conquest yet because I want to finish Birthright. And basically, I want to go back and they're all going to be reviews. Fire Emblem is going to be one series I'm going to try to do reviews for on this channel a lot. And I do have plans to do Fates and Awakening in 7. So probably Sacred Stones, Path of the Radiance, Radiant Dawn, Shadow Dragon will probably all eventually come down the line sometime. But like I said, that's the thing though. I got into the franchise, like a lot of people was interested because of Smash Brothers, and then I tried it. I wasn't fully into it, but then I kind of later on the line when I got a little older, and I think my tastes got a little better, and I could actually understand the concept a little bit more. I tried Radiant Dawn, really liked it, played Path of Radiance, and pretty much bought every game since then, and have been in love with the series since. And quite frankly, still like the games. Like, people might not like a lot of the changes that have happened to the Fire Emblem franchise, but I actually welcome them a bit because it brings more people into the franchise. I love that Fire Emblem's actually getting really popular. Remembering the days back when Smash Brothers only had 2 representatives of, Fire Emblem. Now we're at 6. We went from 2 to 2 to 6. That is awesome. Fire Emblem's becoming another, like a Zelda, like a Mario, like Pokemon. It's become one of the biggest Nintendo franchises of all time, and celebrating 26 years. A game franchise that's been around as long as I've been alive. It's been around as long as I've been born. 1990. I'm as old as that, and F-Zero for the matter, if you guys watched my reminiscing, looking over the history of that last year, when it was the 25th anniversary. A long time franchise, a ton of characters, ton of stories, ton of stuff. Just to see how much has evolved, I appreciate having the difficulty levels and the story and the characters and everything that allow more people to come in to Fire Emblem, so there's more of an audience, more people playing Fire Emblem. That's one thing I like a lot about Awakening and Fates. More people can play it. Like, difficulty, if you still want the hard stuff, you can actually still play it on hard, and the games are still pretty freaking hard, especially trying to get all the children. But, that's really it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to when we get more Fire Emblems. In fact, I'm looking forward to Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE in 2 months. But I'm really looking forward to where the Fire Emblem series goes from here, with Fire Emblem 15 and onward, where it goes in Smash Brothers. Just imagine what characters they're going to start picking from when future games come out, like newer characters. Will it stay at 6? Will it evolve? Like, depending on the size of the roster for Smash Brothers, we very well could be seeing even more characters, and that's something I appreciate. I would also love to see, what they did with Hyrule Warriors, like the Mushu type game with Fire Emblem characters, or a straight up fighting game with Fire Emblem characters as well. But hopefully that happens too. But nothing can take away from Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers is going to be big with Fire Emblem in the future, just like Zelda and Mario and Pokemon and whatnot. And it's just like, I know this video is just basically me just talking about my history and stuff like that, and it's not really too big, but in my opinion, I think it kind of is. Like, I love Fire Emblem. It's become one of my favorite Nintendo franchises. And I know I didn't do a review to honor 26 years, but I think this video, actually, the more I think about it, actually is honoring it just enough to show, because showing where I started, where I became a fan at, and where my love for it comes from, and my hopes and desires for it in the future. Like, I really, really, can't say much more than that. Like, and it's already getting to be about almost 14 minutes, and I want to end this now, because I don't want this video to go on forever. But yeah, like I said, Fire Emblem, thank you for 26 years, even though most people that probably have played it obviously have not been able to celebrate for 26 years. Thank you for 26 years, and for 26 more and beyond. More awesome games, characters, stories, mechanics, and everything else. I look forward to seeing what else comes from it, and that's about it. And stay tuned for when I finally do reviews of all the Fire Emblem games, because basically that's where I'm going to start returning to my game reviews at. And that's really about it. My name is Sniping Fun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day. And again, thank you, Fire Emblem. And I'll see you all later in the next video. Bye.